Boxing in their 19th year of business and their 3rd season bringing you the Facebook show. Thanks for joining us tonight, wherever you are around the world. I'm Beth Duran, joined as always by the editor-in-chief. I gotta make sure I say chief in there.
Thank you.
Ring Magazine, the one and only Doug Fischer. Doug, has been a busy summer of boxing. We're gonna get to everything involved, all the big names. Look, we know you got questions about Canelo. We know you want to talk about Pacquiao, all that other stuff. But before you get to those levels, you got to get out of the club circuit. And tonight, a young fighter hoping to get out of here. Not that there's anything wrong with the DoubleTree, but when you're a fighter, you want to get the big money. Ruben Ace Torres, 21 years old, undefeated, and he gets the headline for the first time as a main event. What's that do for a young fighter?
You know, with Ace, he trains with Michael Dutchover, and Dutchover has been through it. He had a couple seasons here in the DoubleTree, and now he has advanced, evolved, if you will, into a showbox fighter.
Yeah.
And now people nationwide and internationally know Dutchover as a lightweight prospect to look for, to watch develop into a contender. Torres is not there yet, but he knows because Dutchover had to fight Ruben Tamayo to get to the level that he's at. Now it's Ace's turn against Ruben Tamayo, who's, at least on paper, the most difficult opponent that Torres has ever faced. Somebody who's faced, you know, current world champions like Oscar Valdez and has taken them the distance. Somebody who's tall and rangy like him and very crafty in there. So he knows that he's not just going to go 8 rounds. He's going to be tested. He's going to have to think in there. He's going to have to evolve like his gym mate.
I like that.
Yeah, it's all about evolution for young fighters.
Just like we evolve in the broadcast world. Look, I'm going to get my phone out right now, and you're like, oh no, let's be on the phone. Yeah, we use our phones. We use interaction with you. If you're on the Facebook page, you leave a comment, I'm going to read it. So let us know wherever you're at around the world. We'll interact with you. It's a completely different broadcast. It's for you, the fans. Because we know, if you're watching a club show on a Friday night, you're a hardcore fan. It's those, what do you call the fight freaks, right, Doug?
The fight freaks, absolutely. The hardcore heads, the fanatics.
The fanatics. So we get involved
The
with you.
nutcakes.
And while you're at it, why don't you share like we have 5 fights coming your way. We're going to see some good trends. Joel Diaz has a young fighter. Henry Ramirez has a young fighter. Hector Torres at a TKO Boxing, who trains Ronnie Rios, who had a big knockout victory. He has a fighter, so we'll be getting all into that. And Doug, just for people watching the first time, a club show is what?
It's fun. And the people who come here, listen, the people who come here come to expect good fights and also know that some of the guys that they're going to be watching are going to evolve, as I said, into real prospects, to real contenders, and some of them world champions. And I'll tell you what, Ace Torres reminds me a lot of Josecito Lopez.
Okay.
You know, he's
graduated
tall,
from here.
rangy, he's got the power, but also a smart guy and a real cool personality.
Yes, he does.
You guys are going to like this guy.
We'll tell you all the stories later on tonight. He's the main event. But right now, look, we found him. La Voz. He's from Houston, Texas. The one and only Lupe Contreras found his way to Ontario. Thanks for joining us tonight. Beth Duran, Doug Fischer, and you all over the world. Somewhere Lupe's in the ring. Can we get to him? Can we get to Lupe? Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the ring, Braulio Avila.
Our first fight of the night, 4 rounds scheduled, super featherweight division. This is Braulio Avila from Mexico City, Mexico. Actually from Tlaxcala, Mexico. Making his first fight in the United States.
Across the ring, Chris Crowley.
An Irishman training in Southern California, nicknamed the Irish Mexican, Chris Crowley. Talked to him briefly, Doug. He's already picking up that Santa Ana accent.
Is he really?
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
TKO Boxing. You see his trainer Henry behind him. Irish, but lives in the UK. It trains in LA.
Man of the world, and he's got some fans here tonight.
Yeah.
And if you watched his pro debut, which I believe you and I called,
Yep.
it was a 4-round draw. It was a good fight. It was a really good fight, as I recall. And this is a guy I watched spar recently against a young contender, and he's learning every day at gyms like TKO Boxing and Legends.
Welcome you all to the DoubleTree, Ontario. It is another edition of New Blood. Proudly presented to you by Thompson Boxing Promotions. Tonight's bouts are being sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission. Executive Officer is Andy Foster. We start the evening with this bout set for 4 rounds or less in the super featherweight division. Our judges scoring at ringside are Dr. Lou Moret, Max DeLuca, and Sergio Gaiz. At the sound of the bell, the man in charge of the ring is referee Ray Corona. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the red corner, wearing the colors of Mexico, green, white, and red. When he stepped on the scale, he weighed in at an official 130 pounds. And he enters the ring in his 6th professional bout with a record of 2 victories against 3 losses. Fighting out of Tlaxcala, Mexico, Braulio El Tlaxcalteca Avila. His opposition in the blue corner, wearing emerald green with tan, he weighed in at an official 130.5 pounds. He enters the ring in his 2nd professional bout with a record of 1 draw. Fighting out of Brighton, United Kingdom, the Irish Mexican, Chris Crowley.
Right here is good. Let's start in. Feels good.
Look at the tail of the tape for this one, Dougie.
All right, Crowley, the younger man at 25, the taller man at 5'8", and he has the reach advantage.
Oh, here we go. What are you giving me? Is this the Facebook one right now? Yeah, this is Facebook, right? I'm still learning how to use Facebook and looking at you guys. Appreciate everybody watching you. I'm looking at the Facebook. Guru, if you're going to come in, you better come in with some better comments than that, man. Troll ones. Joel Diaz Jr., who was recently in the corner of Omar Figueroa. He's watching us right now. His dad will be in the ring later on. So, see, I told you guys to read everything you're doing. Crowley, Chris Crowley, in the green and gold. He's wearing Lucky Charms socks. Kid you not, Doug.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like the cereal.
Exactly that.
I respect that.
He said his first fight here with Thompson, well, everything was weird. Because the United States, fighting as a pro, all that. He said he let the nerves get to him. Now he feels calm. And you said you saw him sparring recently, huh?
Yeah, I went to Legends Gym about 3 weeks ago to watch a young contender from Mexico City named Rocky Hernandez.
Oh, that's what he's sparring.
Who actually lost his fight like 2 weeks later. But he went some quality rounds with Crowley, and he was putting a lot of pressure on Crowley early in that sparring session, going to the body, trying to push Crowley back. But Chris figured it out. You know, Chris figured out that lateral movement and a nice plucky jab could bother this guy who was like 28-0 with maybe 25 knockouts or some stellar record like that. And I would say the last 2 rounds of the sparring session, he was the better boxer in there.
Referee Ray Corona, happy birthday, Ray Corona. His son actually going to fight on the Sunday on the 360 show that you're going to work, Doug, with Kevin Kelly and Cynthia Conte. And that's a show that Mr. Boxing Guru is going to show up and make an appearance. He's going to be signing autographs. As Crowley's sitting down on his punches. Y saludos a México al Fantasma, amigo de Braulio Avila.
And this is a more aggressive version of Crowley than I saw sparring at Legends, because he's got a guy in there who's older and naturally smaller.
Yep.
Avila's a dude who's used to fighting at bantamweight and junior featherweight. So weighing in at 130 pounds, well, all you have to do is look at his physique. It's not really his natural weight.
He's fighting United States for the first time. I was in the back asking, like, what's his deal? They're like, he's tough. Like, let's see, Buffalo, New York, checking in. Mike Mulligan, 716. And if you guys are watching us for the first time, we really do just talk to you on Facebook. We might talk about the fight. Ace Conchura checking in for the Ace Torres later on. Tony, glad your dad is doing a lot better after surgery. First round winding down. Much more composed, Chris Crowley in his second pro fight. Blood coming down the nose of Braulio Avila. George Falconas would like us to get Doug's takes on Maxim Dadashev.
Oh, heartbroken, obviously. With Dadashev, I think it's the very sad reality that boxing is a potentially fatal. It's a combat sport. It's a sport where brain injuries occur, and I don't know all of the circumstances around Dadashev's fatal injury, but I entered this week with a very heavy heart. And there was another ring fatality from Argentina, a guy named Hugo Santillan, and I think his ring death could have been prevented. I don't think he should have been fighting in the month of July.
And Guru, I know you're saying let the man rest in peace, but when you have the chance to get the opinion of Doug Fisher, the editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine, you take advantage of that. Very professionally done, and our thoughts with everybody and their families. Joel Jr., Tito Sanchez will be fighting next. He's 3-0. Khaled Macled says the Irish dude gets hit a lot. Monchu checking in. What's happening? Charlie Ward, Ireland here. First time watching. Top of the morning. Kana Satatu. All that stuff. Jane Jones, what's happening, Jane Jones? Leo Ruiz will be the third fight tonight. You're watching the first one, and they're going back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, Crowley is fighting a very aggressive fight. He's not using his jab. He's coming straight in. I think he believes that Avila just can't hurt him, so he's trying to take his man out. But he's in a bit of a rush. He's more settled than he was in his pro debut, but he's still smothering himself a little bit, rushing a little bit. Seems to be catching his breath.
Arnold Ding Dong. Aloha, Beto and Doug. What's up with it, Arnold? 808. Francisco Villares, I hate when they make a 120-pounder fight 135-pounder.
Mouthpiece dislodged from Avila.
There it is. And Francis, you got to remember, these guys know what they're doing, especially when you're an opponent.
Yeah, and it's not like Crowley was a 2016 Olympian or anything with 300 amateur fights, and now he's 8-0, 9-0. He's a guy with a very limited amateur background. He's 25 years old. He has one pro fight under his belt. He's 0-0-1.
Yeah.
So it's in this situation. I'm not, at least not yet. I'm not concerned for the safety of Avila, even though Avila is a natural junior featherweight bantamweight.
Ivan Ruiz watching us in Oklahoma, first time watching the show. Ivan, how'd you find out about Thompson Boxing in Oklahoma? Which appreciate you. Jane Jones, yeah, your cousin will be fighting later on. After this, Tito Sanchez, Leo Ruiz, Anthony Sanchez, and the Ruben Ace Torres in the main event. Monchu, you said Avila's in a world of hurt. Not really, man. Ringside, he's in there.
Yeah, I don't think Avila has been buzzed by a shot yet. He's got a trickle of blood from his right nostril, and that's about it.
That one hurt him. Good right hand from Crowley as Avila's covering up.
I think Crowley is headhunting a little bit. It might serve him well to tap that fleshy midsection of Avila.
Eric Floyd watching us in Orlando. What's happening? Appreciate you. Guru, seriously, man, don't get banned for bad comments. You're funnier than that. David MT watching in Nova Scotia. Are you serious? Are you really watching in Nova Scotia?
Nova Scotia.
Switch from the website to Facebook. Appreciate that. Yeah, Francis, we will read all your comments and interact with you. It's 2019. We know that you're a hardcore fight fan. Look, we know it. If you're watching a Thompson show on a Friday night, you are male, single, at home, drinking. We know our audience.
That's all good.
Yeah, and we love you guys.
Yeah.
But it's we're going to interact with you. We're not going to ignore the audience because you guys bring a lot of the interaction with us, and you guys are really fun. Francis says he's in Quebec, so we got Nova Scotia and Quebec watching us.
Canada weighing in.
Ryan
Nice
Scalia.
right hand from Crowley. I want to see a jab from Crowley, though. It's funny, I saw him use his jab a lot in sparring. He's not doing it in the actual fight.
Ricardo Moreno, Maywood Boxing, what's happening? Monchu, I didn't say he's doing great. I said he's just not in a world of hurt like you did, man. David MT, what's the Ring Magazine's chief opinion on Dylan White?
We don't have one yet. We got to get the circumstances on that positive drug test. But it doesn't look good. Generally speaking, if you test positive for a banned substance, a performance-enhancing, specifically a performance-enhancing drug, and you fight with it, you'll be dropped from the rankings. If you're a champion, if you're one of our champions, you'll be stripped of your ring title. That happened with Louis Neri a couple years ago. He fought a Japanese fighter, a Japanese champion, and won the WBC and the Ring Magazine titles at bantamweight, and then later tested for some banned substance. And we thought about it a little bit, and then we dropped him from the rankings and declared the Ring Magazine bantamweight title vacant. Although he did keep the WBC's bantamweight title, and eventually got back in the rankings. Actually, Louis Neri is now our #1 contender.
So in other words, you wait for the actual results, and
Yeah.
different, like journalism, you actually wait. What a
Yeah,
thought.
I want to know more. Yeah, I want to know
What a concept.
what the situation was with the United Kingdom Anti-Doping Agency.
Seattle checking in. What's happening, Seattle? Wish the Sonics were there. Jack Stafford. Uriel Villanueva, Santana in the house. Your fighter will be coming up later on. Nareda Ramirez watching in Wilmington, 9744. You're at Gus Burgers or you're at Diana's?
Well, more to the point on the Dillian White situation. I want to know exactly why Okada allowed them to fight. Like, why did they clear Dillian White to fight Oscar Rivas?
Henry Ugale, aloha. Ivan Ruiz was browsing online and came across the show. Heard you on Facebook Live, so that's why he's following us. By the way, not single nor watch alone, but yes, drinking good beer.
Good.
Cheers. Make
Now,
sure
if you watch on the website, you can't do comments.
Yeah, the
It's-
comments
so-
only come from the Facebook.
So interactive is on Facebook. So Facebook's where you want to be.
Yeah, it's also on YouTube, but YouTube is usually where they get a little. That's where the drinks are heavier.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
John Reeves, Alabama, Wilder country. Oh, we got good ones from YouTube. Let's see here. Dave McLaughlin on YouTube. A male single at home drinking. Almost spit out my drink.
It's because you nailed it.
I mean, because I'm about to get my drink in the third fight,
There
so
you
we're
go.
good. Patricia Simon in New York in the house. What's happening? Doug went to Columbia. Third round in the books. How about this one? Coming up next, we got Tito Sanchez, Luis Montellano. That's coming up next. Tito Sanchez trained by Joel Diaz.
And he comes to fight.
And
Makes
then
for
our
good
main
fights.
event, Ace Torres, Ruben Torres, trainer manager Danny Zamora, Estrellita to his right. Ruben, 9-0, 7 KOs, his first main event. His dad actually holding his outfit for it tonight. Pretty cool. Good kid, nice kid, like his story.
He's a good personality. You know, that day that I went to check out Rocky Hernandez at the Legends Gym, Ruben was there. Actually, Michael Dutchover and Ruben Torres were there. And they're just great to talk to.
Yeah.
They're great just to shoot the breeze, to talk boxing with, to talk about their careers in specific, but just to talk about anything. I think once people get to know Ace Torres, they're going to like him. There is a lot that reminds me of Josecito Lopez.
Jerry Velasco watching from Apaches in Huntington Park. Montellano bringing some fans. Saludos a todos los fans de Luis Montellano in Tijuana. Fourth and final round on our opening bout tonight. Thompson Boxing in Ontario.
Ooh.
Strong right hand landed by the Irish-Mexican Chris Crowley.
Yeah, Crowley landed that because he came
Another
out
one.
jabbing.
That's what some of the commentators on the Facebook are saying. Throw a jab, Crowley.
Yeah, it'll help set up that right hand. It'll also help back Avila to the ropes. The jab will. And a taller, naturally bigger man wants to get a shorter, smaller man up against the ropes.
Pete Banks watching in Florida. Montellano has a lot of people watching, and his fight's next. Why don't you guys share? Let her know. Luis Montellano, Cajitas coming up next. And if you're watching for the first time, interacting with us, keep the comments positive. Ask questions of Doug. We're good. But try not to take cheap shots, and like your jokes aren't that funny, Guru. So like it works out better if we all have a good interaction. And it's like, look, if you're funny, we would know, but you're not, Sal.
I like what I'm seeing from Crowley.
Development.
He's still, exactly. He's still trying to find his distance. I think he's still trying to find a ring identity. I really think he's at his best when he's boxing from a distance. I think every punch should come off the jab with Crowley, but I'm seeing a better punch selection from him.
Not many amateur fights. It's development. He's working with Hector in TKO Boxing Santa Ana.
And, you know, the observers, the people on Facebook are wondering, well, why they put him in there with this tough little guy who can't hurt him? Because this is a developmental fight. His pro debut, he was in with somebody evenly matched.
Yep.
The exact same, equal in terms of athleticism, size, reach, amateur background, everything. And it was World War III. And, you know, he had to fight his ass off just to get a draw. And it's hard. Oh, beautiful right.
Avila wore it.
But it was all he could do just to get through that 4-rounder, because it was a war. This fight, it's what we call workmanlike, and I can see he's learning round to round. He's sort of finding himself in there.
Avila's got a beard, man. That was a big shot landed by Crowley.
Yeah, he's as tough as advertised.
Gail Falkenthal checking in.
What's up, Gail?
Home of San Diego's best weather and Comic-Con. Doug will love that.
Yeah, I missed Comic-Con this year.
Solid shot by Crowley. It's development. That's why he's the first fight of the night. That's why they're going 4 rounds. That's why you're at a club show in Ontario. Good experience for Chris Crowley. And that'll do it. 4 good rounds. I guess we're not scheduled for 4. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, well, the way these guys are acting, they're not like... Okay, we're done, right? Okay, good. Francisco Moreno, you're in Pomona. Bro, you need to come here. Cubos! Mi compa Miguel Cubos, the heavyweight cruiserweight from San Luis Potosí. Estamos hablando de ti en la piscina, Cubos. Cubos, I think you see, we saw him in Sacramento last year. He'll fight as a cruiserweight. He'll fight as a heavyweight. He was the guy who we worked the Golden Boy show at the Avalon.
Right.
He fought that guy that's all rocked up.
Oh,
Kubo,
that
yeah.
I like that guy. Hey, I became a fan. He won everybody over.
Yeah, Kubos looks like Mr. Boxing Guru.
Yeah, okay, he does. He
Yeah.
does. But I mean, he hung tough with that. That dude
Yeah.
looked like a Masters of the Universe
Yeah,
action
yeah.
figure.
So he's Kubos legit. Saludos, Kubos. And right now, saludos, Lupre Contreras.
After going all 4 rounds here at the Doubletree, Ontario, we go to the scorecards to determine a winner. Judges Moret and Geis turning identical scores of 39-37, and Judge Lucas scores it 40-36. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. The Irish Mexican, Chris Crowley.
Irish Mexican, Chris Crowley.
Also join me in welcoming.
It's his first victory, unanimous decision. Had to work for it.
He did. I'm surprised 2 of the official judges scored a round for Avila, but he got an A for effort, right?
Alfie Crowley watching us in Prague. Appreciate you checking us out. Let's see here. I'm going to look at the phone, and we got some questions. Beth Duran, Doug Fisher. Something. Kubos,
everybody?
everybody's Kubos.
Oh, that guy.
Okay,
I'm
here we
a
go.
fan.
From Juan Manzo. Doug, what do you think of Manny versus Keith Thurman?
I thought it was a tremendous fight. I'm one of those geniuses that picked Keith Thurman to win the fight.
Oh, you did?
The Senator still has it, and I think Keith Thurman brought the best out of Pacquiao because he hit him hard, and when you hit Pacquiao hard, you ignite that fire in the belly, that fighting spirit that he has. But at this stage of his career, at age 40, fighting since 1995, he's a tremendous boxer, Manny Pacquiao is, and he's got just so many wrinkles to his game, and Keith couldn't quite catch up to him or keep up with him, but he did figure him out a little bit in the middle rounds and had a nice run there, I think round 7, 8, and 9, and then that 10th round sealed the deal for Pacquiao because he hurt Keith to the body, and Keith had to kind of reset again. But I had it close. I had it 7 rounds to 5 for Pacquiao, so I had a close fight.
David MT. Billy Joe Saunders, what does Ring Magazine think about him?
Right now he's a lower level, he's in the top 10 at 168 pounds. He's a player at super middleweight. He was a world title holder at middleweight, WBO belt, and he has the WBO strap at super middleweight. He could get a showdown with Callum Smith, be a big fight in England. Who knows? He might wind up fighting Triple G or Canelo Alvarez at some point.
Uriel Villanueva. Doug, who's the best welterweight right now?
In my personal opinion, I think it's Terrence Crawford, but according to Ring Magazine, number 1 is Errol Spence. Number 2 is Bud Crawford, and right now, number 3, we have Manny Pacquiao off of that sensational victory on Saturday.
Real question from Sal Carrillo. Finally, you stopped messing around. By the way, listen to Mr. Boxing Guru's podcast, where you should have Doug as a guest. What are your takes on this weekend's unification bout, Hooker Ramirez?
I'm glad you asked about it. It's a tough one to call. If in neutral territory, I would slightly favor Jose Ramirez because he's got a good chin and he works so hard. But this fight's taking in the Arlington, Dallas area. That's the hometown area of Mo Hooker. The lead promoter is Eddie Hearn, who co-promotes Hooker. And Hooker's good. Guy's got the reach of like a light heavyweight, you know what I mean? A boxer puncher. It's a tremendous matchup. I slightly favor Ramirez still.
You still take?
I think Ramirez is a stud. I really do. He's going to be hard to beat.
All right. So if you guys have questions, send them in. We'll try to get to most of them. And if you want to have a detailed question answered, email Doug his mailbag Fridays and Mondays as they're throwing out shirts here at the DoubleTree. That's why the lights went down. It's all ready to go. Coming up next, Vito Sanchez, Luis Montellano. Then after that, Leo Ruiz, Giannis Reed, Anthony Sanchez, James Early. Then the main event, Ruben Torres against Ruben Tamayo. That's all coming up later on tonight. 4 more fights your way from the DoubleTree in Ontario. Yeah, that's a jam right there. Pour some sugar on me.
That's right.
Yeah, if you want to get Doug.
Def Leppard, yes.
Yeah. Here's how you get to Doug Fisher's heart. Comic books.
Yeah.
Hard rock.
Yeah.
Some Leopard. There you
And
go.
if it's from the 80s, come on. This is like senior year high school, Springfield, Missouri. It really was. Yeah.
Jeremiah Gallegos watching us in Houston and Austin. What up, Jeremiah?
What's up, Jeremiah?
Are we going up? Lupe is ready for our next fight.
Now entering the ring, please welcome Luis Montellano.
From Tijuana, Luis Montellano y toda la familia de Montellano, póngale share en el Face para que las tías están mirando. This is El Corrido de Luisito, Los Traviesos de la Sierra. Yes, I had to Shazam that.
What does that translate to, that song, the name of the song?
Corrido is like a song, like a ballad kind of.
Oh, okay.
Luisito, because that's his name. So the Traviesos de la Sierra would be the troublemakers.
Yes. Okay. Now, he doesn't have the prettiest record.
No.
1 win, 5 losses, and 2 draws. But he's been matched tough, though.
Jose
But I've heard he can scrap.
Sanchez.
Yeah.
Joel Diaz hyping up his fighter. This is Jose Sanchez. Everybody calls him Tito. 3-0, 2 KOs, Cathedral City.
And you told me that that's actually the town that Tim Bradley's from.
Well, that's where people say Tim Bradley's from, Cathedral City,
Okay.
the Desert Storm.
It's that, okay.
Yep.
'Cause I always figured he was born and raised in Palm Springs.
Yeah. But you go to Cathedral City. I was there recently, and people were like, "Oh no, he's from here." I'm like,
Okay.
I'm not gonna argue with people from
Yeah,
Cathedral City.
the locals say so, then
Yeah.
let's go with that.
El original, the original. That's what he's walking into. Lupe Contreras ready with the particulars.
We continue the action here at New Blood, presented by Thompson Boxing Promotions. This bout set for a distance of 4 rounds or less in the featherweight division. Our judges at ringside are Dr. Lou Merlet, Max DeLuca, along with Sergio Cais. At the sound of the bell, the ref in charge of the ring is Jerry Cantu. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the red corner. He enters the ring wearing black with teal trim. When he stepped on the scale, he weighed in at 123.5 pounds. And tonight, he is in his 9th professional bout. Puro Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. El Cañitas, Luis Montellano. His opposition across the ring in the blue corner. Wearing red with gold and white trim, he weighed in at an official 124.25 pounds. In his 4th professional bout, with an undefeated professional record of 3 victories. 2 of those victories coming by way of KO. Representing Cathedral City, California, Jose Tito Sanchez.
Gentlemen, you got to receive your command in the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times. Touch him with the moment.
All right. Sanchez, the younger man at 19. Montellano, much taller at 5'9", and Montellano also has the reach advantage.
Thanks everybody watching us on Roku, like our man Linus Esquire on Philadelphia, saying that Montellano 1-5-2, great opponent. He's better than his record. Also Jesus Aldana 2, watching it with the Sir Doug Fisher. Appreciate it, man.
Montellano really tall for this weight.
Yep. Southpaw, he's in the red and blue from Tijuana. Tito Sanchez, 3-0, 2 KOs. He's a baseball player in high school. Ace Contreras is doing work at his office in Tijuana. Jerry Velasco, come on, Team TJ. Jaime Gonzalez, Cathedral City. Yeah, Cañitas, he's got a weird style, but he is tough.
What does Cañitas mean?
I don't know. Actually, somebody translate for me. What does that mean?
I mean, the bout just started, but
He got hit with the right hand.
he was off balance. His feet were squared up. Tito is always on the hunt. He's a stalker. He's very relaxed in there. But he's a guy who likes to walk his opponent backwards, likes to get him up against the ropes. But he's still green. And we saw him, he fought 2 months ago right here.
Mm-hmm.
And he went the 4-round distance for the first time. And he was in with a far more experienced guy, a smaller guy, kind of a paunchy dude, but a veteran journeyman. And that journeyman buzzed Tito in the opening round. Just when it looked like Tito was going to overwhelm him, and wound up hanging tough for 4 rounds. And that was quite an education for Tito, because Sanchez was tired by the 4th round.
See, so, like, people don't know. Javier Razo checking in right now, Team Send It. He says that Cañitas means little sugar cane.
Thank you, Razo.
Ace.
Little sugar cane.
Yeah, because caña is sugar cane. And then, of course, somebody else says, isn't caña straw? See? You guys might understand Spanish, but you don't speak Spanish.
I like that nickname, though. Ooh, nice uppercut.
And then Arturo Quesada, he's got sugar cane legs. Good fight. Tito Sanchez is in the red and White. He started training with the Diaz brothers about 4 years ago. He does his own strength and conditioning, does his own running, but he'll go to Indio Boys and Girls Club, and that's where he gets the sparring in. Sparred Sal Sanchez.
That's good work.
Thompson Show.
You know, Sanchez showed some nice head and upper body movement a moment ago. He's still kind of squared up, like his feet placement in front of Montellano. It's a little bit squared up.
Unstoppable power without the hassles of gas. And trim non-stop for over a mile. Now get 2 extra free batteries.
Marco Villegas looking for Tamayo and Torres. That's our main event coming up later on tonight.
That is a good matchup.
2
What's
more
up,
fights
Marcos?
before that. Jeremiah Gallego saying we look fresh. Well, we know that. We stay ready, bro.
Sanchez is just he's a cool customer in there. Not breathing heavy at all. His facial expression doesn't change.
No.
But his face is so relaxed.
Monchu, yeah, we got commercials, bro. What's up? We got sponsors here at Thompson Boxing.
Sanchez looking for that left hook to the body and back up to the head whenever he backs Luis to the ropes.
This one's scheduled for 4 rounds.
Montellano's one of them tall dudes, likes to lean back, and when you miss, then he wants to counter you with like a hook or an uppercut.
Now Tito switching to the southpaw. He said he feels comfortable doing it.
Seems like everybody does it now.
Yeah, it used to be if you were switching southpaw, it means you were in trouble, right?
Right, it means you didn't know what you wanted to do, you were kind of desperate in there, or you were just trying to show off and you shouldn't be showing off. And it used to be commentators used to criticize fighters for doing that, and now it's so frequent, it's just an acceptable part of the game now. I like the body shots of Sanchez. And given his build and his stature, it seems like he's going to get a lot of leverage on body shots. He's a compact little dude. And I should mention Montellano has kept his poise as well, and he's under a lot of pressure. Sanchez is throwing a lot of heat at him, but he seems relaxed, even though he's pinned to the ropes right now.
Yeah, Montellano will take a fight anywhere. He'll show up ready to go. 2 days notice, boom. He's a matchmaker's dream. His record is ugly, but he does this where he gives you those awkward angles, always moving around. It's as he said, he knows his role. Didn't have much of an amateur background. Body shot from Tito again.
Yeah, they both floated up with hooks, and Montellano's, it fell short.
But look, I know, who is this? Oh, here, Joseph Alamo. Cañete doesn't have anything, another average fighter. Yeah, but you need these kind of guys in a club show to get guys like Tito Sanchez work and experience.
Yeah, Montellano is resilient, and he looks resourceful in there as well. He's pretty good at blocking a lot of shots. His problem is he doesn't know how to get leverage on his punches. He doesn't have natural speed and snap at the end of his shots. But with his frame, with the proper technique, if he bent at his knees and sprang up with uppercuts, he could get some decent leverage on a punch like that. And believe it or not, Sanchez is open for the uppercut.
Sanchez trying to work to the body shots, trying to cut that tree down as the final seconds of the second round are upon us. This was scheduled for 4, our second bout of the night. The DoubleTree in Ontario, Thompson Boxing.
You know, when fans look at a club fighter or a guy who's 19 years old with like 3 fights under his belt and say, oh, his opponent has nothing, his opponent ain't crap, I always ask them, well, who's the greatest fighter ever in your opinion? You know, they might say Manny Pacquiao, they might say Floyd Mayweather. I'll say, well, go to BoxRec and look at the record of the 4th pro fight, the 4th pro opponent for Mayweather or Pacquiao, and you tell me what their record looked like.
Yeah.
You tell me who that guy was. He was a guy.
He's the guy.
He was a club fighter. He was, you know, like even awesome talents or great amateurs like Mayweather, who had an Olympic bronze medal from the 1996 games. They have to be developed.
As Tito's coming in winging right away.
Sanchez coming out hard, and I'm going to be watching him in this round because he threw a lot of punches in round 2. He set a really fast pace and a hard pace, threw a lot of hard punches. And what I noticed the last time we saw him fight, maybe by the end of the 3rd round, he got a little bit arm weary, and maybe midway through the 4th round, he looked tired to me.
Yep, great point, Doug. Like an encyclopedic boxing brain of yours. Solid right hook from Tito Sanchez.
Tito likes his hooks from the orthodox and the southpaw stance. Moves well at the waist.
Valentin Romero. What's up, Valentin, photographer deluxe, joining us.
And we're seeing some angles on the inside from Sanchez. It does look like he's beginning to overwhelm Montellano.
Crowd starting to make some noise as Tito has some crowd with him.
Now maybe Sanchez, hard hook to the body from the southpaw stance from Sanchez. Maybe Sanchez is just naturally a volume puncher. This is just how he is whenever he gets in the ring or whenever he trains. But as he matures, you know, maybe somebody will get to him and say, you know, you don't have to throw 100 punches around. You don't have to do that, you know. You could be a little more choosy.
It's his 4th fight.
Right.
They learn.
And I get it. I mean, he's a teenager.
Yep.
He is 19 years old. He's excited to be here. He's excited to be in the ring. There's all that enthusiasm and energy. And he's having his way. You know, I think he feels good, so, you know, he's going to throw a ton of punches.
Very calm demeanor. I talked to him briefly. I was getting his hands wrapped. Locked in the zone.
Like, no anxiety, right?
None
Doesn't
at
seem
all.
nervous or anything.
I mean, I was like, you know, you're getting used to this now. Things slow down. He didn't know what I meant. Like, good. Like, just that's good though. He's just locked in. And
Yeah.
Tonio was wrapping his hands. He's really high on this young man.
That's a natural fighter.
Yep.
It takes a very special individual to step between those ropes.
Body shot. And you know what? I like the fact that a 19-year-old is actually going to the body. We don't see that often from youngsters.
And he's not just going to the body, he's committed to the body. That was a good one.
Yep.
That left to the body, that was right on the rib cage.
And he's going again.
And he's reaching around looking for that liver spot as well. Montellano hanging tough.
Yep. He's trying to cover up that right side.
Yeah.
Montellano was hurt on that
he
right
is.
side.
But see, he moves. See how he moves around.
Yep.
He's, there, that did it.
Body shot dropped him.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yep. Montellano wincing.
Feels the sting.
See if he's going to beat the count.
I'm impressed with Sanchez's work rate and his punch selection.
Joseph Alamo, back to his point about just the guy. But you could tell when a fighter's going to be a star like Rafael Benitez. Let's look at this knockdown shot.
Yeah, there was a left reaching back to the liver spot, got him with a right hook. Left hook, yeah. But you know, it was the accumulation of body punches that really wore Montellano down. But Sanchez did the right thing, pinning him against the ropes, working the body and head with both hands.
Yep. Montellano breathing deep. Thanks for everybody checking in on the Facebook show. 3 more to go. Beth Duran, Doug Fisher, and you. 4th and final round. Tito Sanchez in the red, looking good through 3. Yes, Luis Montellano is a tough Tijuana fighter. Sanchez staying southpaw.
And I'll be watching Sanchez in this round to see if he can keep this pace up.
Yeah.
See if there's any signs of fatigue. I don't really see it. And that speaks well of the young man.
They all learn that if you're told to run your 5 miles, you run 5, not 4.9.
Right. You're right.
All that stuff adds up. Oh, solid shot from Sanchez.
And Sanchez is going to be a very popular fighter because of this style and this mentality that he has. He's a real go-getter.
And he sells tickets.
Yeah, he sells tickets, but he's going to sell more and more tickets the more he fights.
Look, people watching right now on Facebook, answer me this. Are you liking what you see from Tito Sanchez? Would you want to see him again? And he's not signed by Thompson. Free agent still. A couple fights ago, he was at Agua Caliente, and Jerry Cantu jumps in there. Cantu protects the young fighter, Luis Montellano.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see a lot of that in light of what happened this past weekend with both Maxim Dadashev and Hugo Santillan passing away from ring injuries. You're going to see when once a fight becomes one-sided, you're going to see referees step in and say, forget about it, man. Taking too many shots. You're not going to win this fight. You can't hurt this guy. The fight's already over. And there will be less criticism than there would have been in previous years.
It was a matter of, like, some fighters are too strong for their own. Their corners are more brave than them at times.
Right.
And, a young fighter like Montellano, he shows he has a beard. He will take the shots, and he's not going to kind of quit. Good stoppage. Lupe Contreras in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, an accumulation of blows forces referee Jerry Cantu to step in and call this contest with an official time of 1:18 of the 4th and final round, declaring the winner by way of knockout, still undefeated, Jose Tito Sanchez.
All right, Monchu says this, double-edged sword would never have had that thriller in Manila. That's a different story. Those are champions.
Yeah.
You give them that longer leash, or Gotti Ward. He says you can't have your cake and eat it too. Bro, we're not putting them on that level. This dude's 1-5.
Yeah, and we're also saying we'll see fights stop once they stop being competitive. Those are all-time great fights. Gotti and Ward were evenly matched, and they were going tit for tat for 10 rounds in all 3 of their fights. Ali and Frazier went together like peanut butter and jelly. They were already legends by the time they met that 3rd time in the Thrill in Manila, and it was an even. It was a brutal fight. They went tit for tat, and that fight was stopped. The corner of Joe Frazier did the right thing because Frazier's eyes were swollen shut. He couldn't see anything. Once you can't see yourself, you can't defend yourself. If you can't defend yourself, it's no longer competition. It's just assault. And Eddie Futch held Joe Frazier back on the stool.
You can keep talking history all you want.
Yeah,
Doug.
no, I'm just saying.
Look, when Doug is on a history roll, I am not.
Because listen, I like action. I like action fighters. I'm a bloodthirsty ghoul. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for a ring war, but when it's competitive, once it stops being competitive, and you have more than 1 or 2 rounds of a one-sided beating, I want the fight to be stopped. And it's because I care about these guys. Just this past Thursday, we're watching Jason Quigley. Hey, his fight with Toriano Johnson, he won the first 2 rounds. Johnson got into gear, won the next 2 rounds. It was a fun fight for 4, maybe 5 rounds. After that, Quigley had nothing. You could see it. After the 6th round, I would have been fine with that fight stopping.
Well, the fight I was watching over the weekend, Omar Figueroa, wasn't
right.
What
was the point?
That fight could have been stopped.
I agree with you, 100%.
Thanks everybody checking in with you guys right now. People liking what they see from Tito Sanchez. Obviously, the competition will step up. It's his 4th fight.
He's 19. Right. Yeah. He wasn't an Olympian. Okay, he didn't take part in the World Amateur Championships.
Gerardo Cancillo, Beto looking like a lawyer. Appreciate it. I'm actually looking like my cousin Vinny right here.
Right, on a bus, right? Yeah. Accidentes.
Dos 22. Look at Doug with los defensores line. Dougie Fisher checking in. Yes, Leo Ruiz coming up next. Donis Reed, Anthony Sanchez, and then the main event, Ruben Torres and Tamal. You want us to keep on talking? We'll keep on talking.
Hey, we saw Leo's fight.
Yes.
How was that? My first
Yes.
show
Yeah.
was that in February?
Yep.
So he's a middleweight.
Yeah.
And I didn't see enough of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tall
no,
guy,
yeah.
nice hand speed.
They'll
He's
be
a
fighting
stalker.
at 152 today. He's gonna
Oh,
fight. Yeah.
he's trying to go down in weight. Even
Yeah.
though he's kind of a tall guy.
He is.
6 feet tall.
Eventually, that's where they want to fight right around there.
Good. Oh yeah, shoot, he weighed in at 152.
Yeah. So that'll be coming up next. Right now, I want to have an opportunity to take a chance to ask Doug about. Ready?
What?
Canelo.
Canelo.
What do you got on that?
Well, so today
I don't
was
need no
supposed to be
news
the
or anything like that, but like
Yeah.
all that stuff about he needs to fight Triple G or this and that.
Canelo makes everybody crazy. Canelo makes people, you can't like Canelo because hardcore fans get mad about that. And here's the thing, I perplex people. I bewilder folks because I love Gennady Golovkin and I have respect for Canelo Alvarez. And in that rematch, I had that fight a draw, and I'm not mad that Canelo won a very close majority decision. You know what I'm saying? So that pisses people off. But the thing is like, whatever Canelo does now, everyone's got a problem with it. Like he's talking about fighting Sergey Kovalev, and people are like, that's an easy fight. I'm like, are you out of your mind? That fight is a risky fight. I'm sorry. And if he if he winds up fighting Sergey Derevyanchenko, that's a tough fight. I mean, listen, he's going to challenge himself, and I'm fine with him not fighting Triple G this year because that was turning into Groundhog Day every September. Let's take a break, revisit this in May.
See that? All your news and notes from Doug Fisher. All complaints, send them to Lupe Contreras.
Now entering the ring, Donis Reed.
Semper Fi, San Diego's own Adonis Reed, nicknamed El Don, served 6 years U.S. Marines, was in Fallujah, all over the world, came out of the Marines, started MMA.
Oh, I was going to ask, was he introduced to boxing while in the military?
He was,
Okay.
but got into MMA training, and here he is, and I was talking to him in the back, and I said, you're boxing now? He's like, he didn't want to say it. I was like, they pay more, right? He's like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Coming into Winston Hussey, fight war again. Trini Cervantes, what's happening?
His opposition, Leo Ruiz.
San Bernardino's own, 4-0, 2 KOs. Can't tell me nothing. Who's coming into? Leo Ruiz.
And that's how it is when you're young. You can't tell them nothing. He's just 20 years old. Started boxing when he was 12. Didn't have an extensive amateur career, but he did fight as an amateur and won 2 Desert Showdowns in 2015 and 2016. So I think he's definitely going to be the more natural boxer of the 2 middleweights, or junior middleweights, excuse me.
We continue with the action here at New Blood, proudly presented to you by Thompson Boxing Promotions. This bout set for a distance of 6 rounds or less in the junior middleweight division. Our judges scoring at ringside are Dr. Lou Moret, Max DeLuca, and Sergio Caiz. The ref in charge of the action is Ray Corona. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the red corner, wearing white with black trim when he stepped on the scale. He weighed in at an official 152 3/4 pounds, and he enters the ring for the 7th time as a pro. With a record of 3 victories against 3 losses, 2 of those victories coming by way of KO. Fighting out of San Diego, California, Donis El Don Reed. Across the ring in the blue corner, wearing red with white trim, he weighed in at an official 152 1/2 pounds. Entering the ring for the 5th time as a professional with an undefeated record of 4 victories. 2 of his victories coming by way of knockout. Representing San Bernardino, California, Leo
Let's see how these junior middleweights match up. Wow, at age 20, 14 years younger, Ruiz is. They're both 6 foot tall, and really just a very slight reach advantage for Reed.
Beth Duran, Doug Fisher, and you was our third bout of the night. Leo Ruiz in the red, Adonis Reed, old school white with a black trim. Thanks everybody watching us all over the world and all over the United States. And my favorite philosopher, Aristeo, checking in. Leo Ruiz, 4-0, 2 KOs, trained by Henry Ramirez. I don't know if you know this, but Henry used to train Chris Arreola.
Once upon a time. Oh!
Yep.
Yeah, this is what I remember of
Yep.
Ruiz. Pretty fast hands, and he commits to those punches. Fights out of a high guard. I think Reed was doing the right thing with the lateral movement. He needs to get that left stick going, get that jab going.
Doubletree Hotel in Ontario, solid left hook. Landed by Leo Ruiz. Henry really likes him.
Well timed from Ruiz.
Yep. Ruiz was a soccer player.
And from my experience, soccer players are very good athletes.
Yep.
They've always got good stamina, but real good coordination, foot coordination.
Where's everybody checking in from right now? No San Bernardino strong. Got the Long Beach people checking in. Trina, where do you live? Another solid one. That caught the attention of Adonis Reed.
Yeah, Reed needs to have some, get some head and upper body movement because he looks straight up for these fast shots from Ruiz. Ruiz is dialed in. He's very focused. Seems a little bit more relaxed of the two, and I expected that because he's probably got more of a boxing background.
So Alex Ortiz, now you're telling me he's trained by David Ortiz? So what's Henry's role?
Yeah, David Ortiz is the trainer. Ramirez is the manager.
All right, all right.
But you know Ramirez is going to be offering those pearls of wisdom.
Wearing a Dodger hat.
Exactly. He's gonna have his observations. He's watching everything. He's in the corner. It's not like he's gonna clam up and not say anything just because he's not the official chief second.
David MT, we get it. Lethal Leon Lawson. We've seen the 10 posts, man. Appreciate you watching. I think everybody's read it over and over. I got it, Alex. Henry's the manager. Appreciate you. See, I told you, man. I'm here to correct. I got no problem. Leo's heavy hands, huh? He's a little bit more calm compared to the first time we saw him.
Yes, I was about to mention that. It's a good observation.
I got one to fight. This was scheduled for 6 between Ruiz and Adonis Reed. Doubletree in Ontario, the home of Thompson Boxing, here once a month. But in August, we're going to be in Corona, Omega Products. Don Omar, Danza Kuluro's jamming.
Now, when you're in Corona, California in August, it's pretty hot. Is that the polos?
Yeah, we are wearing polos.
Okay.
We are wearing polos, and we will have plenty of beer right next to us.
Right on.
You drink that Guinness, right? We'll get
Yes,
you
I
that.
do.
I don't think you have any Guinness.
I've got the brown teeth to prove it. Guinness and coffee, not a good mix.
Oof.
Good thing I don't smoke cigarettes.
Oh, then you'd be a real writer.
Yes.
Ace, honestly, tonight, I hid you not, at the pool this afternoon, everybody was talking about going to Misty's afterwards. Yeah, Misty's the lounge. That's the spot tonight after the fights. We got 2 more to go. The main event is Ruben Torres against Ruben Tamayo, and Anthony Sanchez, James Early coming up next. Ruiz has that build, a nice frame on him. Only 4 fights, 2 knockouts. Dion Dubon checking in Hawthorne. Arturo Quesada, Phoenix, Arizona. They got Iron Boy show tomorrow.
Ooh. That was, I think, inadvertent, but an inadvertent low blow from Reed.
Joshua Taylor, speaking of a beer, go get one, man.
Keep punching, Donis.
It's like 95 degrees in Ontario, wherever you're at. It's a heat wave in LA.
We're seeing Reed bend at the waist a little bit more. trying to evade these fast shots from Ruiz.
There you go, Donis.
Ruiz is a very different young up-and-comer than Tito Sanchez, who was punching for 3 minutes of a round. Ruiz is more selective, more economical with his punches.
There you go, Donis. There you go, Donis. Do it again. Do it again.
And Reed landed a shot there, momentarily knocking Ruiz off balance.
Reed said he was 6-2 in MMA, or 6-4 as an MMA fighter. Also Muay Thai background, all martial arts.
Do that 1-2, Donis. Quick. You go with that 1-2.
Razo, you know we shouted out Ray Corona, his birthday boy from Bassett.
Right back to it.
Josh Taylor's grabbing a Rolling Rock, very nice. Rolling Rock, Pennsylvania, yeah, right?
Yeah, American Northeast.
Yeah.
Finish with that right hand, Donis. Finish with that right hand.
Solid right from Ruiz.
Left, Donis, to that left.
Yeah, Ruiz with the more, the faster and more fluid offense. But Reed is throwing back. He's landed some punches. He's earning some respect in this second round. And he's warmed up, and he's adding just little wrinkles to his game, like the head movement. And like I said, I think the lateral movement is a good idea for Reed.
Cornell Hines checking in. Good bump right here. Yeah, this is a good one.
Stiff jab, Donis. Stiff jab.
Up,
That one's
discombobulated. Yeah, it was a pair of hooks. They're landed kind of high on the head. And Ruiz is stunned.
Yep.
And he's stunned again. It was a hook.
Reed got him. Reed trying to hold on.
Yeah, he has to hold on.
His legs are shaky. He's wobbly. Ray Corona, there he is. He grabs.
And you see Ruiz has a finisher's instinct.
Yep.
The leg's still not under Ruiz.
Hook
Sorry,
from
Reed.
Another hook. Another hook. Reed's legs are wobbly. And he's up against the rope. Hit with the right hand. Final seconds of the round, and he'll do it. He'll survive the round as he stumbles back. Ray Corona checking him out. And he took some big shots, did the Marine.
They were left hooks.
Yep.
And the first hook that discombobulated Reed was kind of to the temple area. And I think that's hard to recover from.
Let's look at the highlights.
Yeah, let's check out the replay. And he's stunned already right here. And here's these hooks, followed by the right hands. Reed wisely going to the body. Reed really doesn't know how to grab and hold.
You can hear Ray Corona, how you feel? The doctor already checked him. Ray Corona just said, hey, I got my eye on you.
Yeah, he has to. And the first thing that Ray has to look at is the legs of Reed at the start of round 3.
They were wobbly when he came back to the ring. The doctor checked him out.
Donis, jump around, Donis.
His corner's telling him, jump around.
Get up there, Donis. Get up there, Donis.
Big shot again, Ruiz. Reed and White trying to cover up. But he's punching back. He eats a left hand.
Yeah, the hook is the weapon of choice for Ruiz. It's the one
That
that
was
scored the
finished.
most. That's a knockdown.
It's counted as a knockdown. Reed is trying to hold on. I mean, this is a tough Marine, but damn, how much more? They're gonna let it go? Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
see the resistance there with Reed. His legs aren't under him.
He has no legs.
Yeah,
Corner stopping
there
it.
you go.
Corner stopping it.
Good.
The corner stopped it. They jumped in. That could have been stopped last round.
I agree. Probably should have been stopped between rounds.
A tough Marine, Donis Reed, but a tough man right there, Leo Ruiz. I like him, his approach, his attack.
He's very focused, really poised in there. He's looking for the perfect shot. He's very accurate and economical with his power punching. And when he gets a guy hurt, he does have that finisher's instinct. I tell you what, I wonder if they can get him down to 147. He'd really be something. But I like that he's going down to junior middleweight.
I mean, here's the replay. We don't need to
Yes,
see this.
right hand. There's the hook. Yeah, hook, cross.
Could have been
hook
stopped
right.
there.
Yep, right there, right after that.
Could have been stopped right there.
Because he wasn't fully recovered from the shellacking he took in round 2.
Leo Ruiz, I like this
See
kid.
right here, yeah. See Reed's got
The ropes
could
held
have
him
been done. Yeah, well, that was a technical knockdown, but you see just the way his body is all wound up. He couldn't recover.
Respect to that man for getting in the ring. Leo Ruiz gets the victory. Lupe Contreras inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, after a series of crushing blows, referee Ray Corona determines that the red corner can no longer continue, obligating him to stop this contest with an official time of 42 seconds of the third stanza, declaring the winner by way of knockout and still undefeated, Leo Ruiz.
5-0, that's his third stoppage, Leo Ruiz. Again, respect to Adonis Reed, Marine, coming in there. Our next fight coming up, Anthony Sanchez, James Early. Then the main event, Ruben Torres and Ruben Tamayo. Jerry Arias checking in right now, Tight Edge Athletics. Appreciate it. He actually strength and conditioning coach for Ruben Ace Torres as our boss is coming in. Oh, we got Michael Dutchover coming?
Yay!
Man, why don't I want to talk
Come on,
to you?
there's the shirt of the night right here. I'm gonna get me one of those.
Is that microphone on? All right, Bethel Durant, Doug Fisher, Michael Dutchover, who just came from Magnum PI's closet. You have no idea who that is, right?
I know.
No idea.
Keep growing the mustache, though. You get the look.
I'm growing it out. It took a little while to get it back.
How you been, Dutch?
I've been great. You know, I'm training hard. You know, just got some big news. You know, don't want to spill it all out, but
Oh, no, don't be coming over here. I got big news I don't want to say.
I'll be back in the ring September 20th, everybody. You know, and
Okay.
you know, I got a big surprise for all of my fans. You know, this one's gonna be big.
So
But
September 20th,
September 20th, I'll be back in the ring.
Dutchover, I know where he's going to fight. I can't tell you, but it's not in Ontario. We do know that much. Tonight's main event, Ruben Torres is stablemate of yours. You train with him, well, strength and conditioning and at Legends, and also at Santa Fe Springs. It's his first main event. What'd you tell him? What kind of advice?
Yeah, we talked a lot about it, you know, and you know, me and him are like brothers, and so we're easy to talk about stuff like this. And it's his first main event. I told him, you know, that when you're in the ring, you know, that's your home. It doesn't matter where it's at. Just like the one thing that I live off of, it doesn't matter where I'm at. The ring is my home, you know, and so it's his first main event. You know, he has a lot of eyes, but you know, he's prepared for it. He's ready. I told him, you know, all his training, it's gonna pay off tonight, and I know that he'll be victorious tonight.
Has Ace asked you what to expect from Ruben Tamayo?
He did, you know, for everybody that knows, you know, he was an opponent of mine also, and so, you know, he has a lot of experience, and I told him, you know, to study, you know, watch tendencies, and he did, you know, so I feel like he's gonna show out tonight.
Torres is usually a guy who doesn't watch take footage of his opponents.
Yeah, and usually it doesn't, you know, I told him, you know, it's just part of this game, you know, you gotta start, you're getting into these later rounds, you know, he's fighting an 8-round fight, you know, moving on up, and, you know, it's just part of the progress of being a professional, and, you know, you gotta know tendencies, you know, adjust in the ring, and, you know, be a smart fighter.
So in the event that his fight goes 5, 6, 7, or even in the 8th and final round, he needs to know what to expect from Tamayo in those late rounds.
Yeah, exactly, and you know, that's just something that I've learned too. You know, once you get the past 4 rounds, you know, that's when you really find out what type of fighter you are. And that's what I really think. And you know, he's in great condition. I was sparring 10 rounds. You know, I helped him out in sparring, and you know, so he's ready. He's ready to shine tonight. Tonight's his night.
Now, nothing against the DoubleTree. We like it because we get paid. But your goal as a fighter is to start off at DoubleTree first, get to a co-main, main event, and then get out of here, right? Like you want to get to the bigger venues. Like now that you're out of here, and there's nothing wrong with the DoubleTree. We love it.
Yeah,
they give you
I
the
love
cookie when you check in.
Yeah.
But you got to move on and evolve, right? What's it like
Yes.
coming back here and watching the fights?
Oh, it's crazy. You know, I remember having my pro debut here, and you know, just the way my career has been moving along. You know, it's fast track. You know, 2.5 years, 3 years. You know, I'm fighting on Showtime and national television, and you know, I'm just ready to keep improving, and just the hard work pays off. You just stay working in the gym. I'm in the gym right now, and you know, we're gonna keep on moving forward and knocking out my opponents.
Cornelius Hines says, damn, can we see the fight? Bro, this dude's fighting September 20th. He's undefeated. Michael Dutchover. It's called extending the show a little bit. But Cornelius Hines, just for you, let's go up to the ring and bring in our co-man right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring, James Early.
Coming in from Washington, D.C., James Early. Got a good story. We'll tell you guys about that as the fight progresses. Cornell, I got you. That's your boy, James Early, right? Boom. Washington, D.C., 2 Slick, 3-3. Dylan Glover, we want to see the fights. Bro, man, people that pay here don't want to pay for tickets and then leave in an hour. They got to sell some beer. They got to sell some food. You got to entertain. When have you ever gone to a Vegas fight and it's like fight, man? You got to stretch it out a little bit, man. You got to go to the bathroom. And who's that guy right there? Let's see here. Frankie Olegwu. A lot of over ad-libbing from these commentators. We're not ad-libbing, we're just talking.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't know. Hey, just to let
You want us to read from a script?
Yeah, exactly.
Across the ring, Anthony Sanchez.
Interesting choice of walk-in music.
Anthony Sanchez, Güero from Long Beach. He's coming in.
Danny Roman will be here after the first round. After the first round, interview Danny.
Man, this is gonna fire you up, right? Joshua Taylor, Sam Cooke. A change is gonna come.
Interesting.
It's a cool song, but
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I don't know if this one fires up Lupe Contreras, but he's ready to go.
We continue with the action here at the Doubletree, Ontario. This is our co-featured bout of the evening of New Blood. Proudly presented to you by Thompson Boxing Promotions. Set for a distance of 6 rounds in the lightweight division. Our judges are Dr. Lou Moret, Max DeLuca, and Sergio Caiz. Our ref in charge of the ring is Jerry Cantu. Presenting first, the fighter standing in the red corner, wearing pink with gold trim, he weighed in at an official 132.5 pounds. He enters the ring for the 7th time as a professional with a record of 3 victories against 3 losses. Fighting out of the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., James Too Slick Early. Across the ring in the blue corner, wearing dark blue with gold trim, he weighed in at 133.75 pounds. And he enters the ring an undefeated pro with 9 victories, 1 bout even, all 9 of his victories coming by way of KO. Representing the LBC, Long Beach, California, El Güero, Anthony Sanchez.
Gentlemen, you were given your instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean, hard fight, and you will obey my commands at all times. Touch him up, good look at motion.
see how these lightweights match up. So Sanchez, 5 years younger at age 21. Early is 1 inch taller, and he has a slight reach advantage.
Thanks, everybody. Join us right now. And Cornell Hines, I know who you are, man. You're fighting August 30th for Golden Boy. Dude, I had you on the radio, Dash Radio, me and Jessica Rosales. I know what's up. You're vegan, bro, and a boxer. See? I know what's up. Gail says, rate the music. Yeah, we're all right. It's
Rate the music.
Yeah, Sam Cooke's a good song.
Yeah, no, it was just an odd choice for a boxing walk-in, but I like the music. I'm a Sam Cooke fan.
Yeah, different. The Southpaw, Anthony Sanchez, Weddle, 9-0-1, 9 KOs. Competition has been light for him in those 9 fights.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yep.
And Early is one of these switch hitters. That's so common now. And in the tail of the tape, it just said Early is 1 inch taller, but he looks taller than just 1 inch now that the fight has begun.
Ty is the corner man for James Early, his uncle. You might be able to hear him. We're right in the corner of James Early. Early is fighting at 32. Doug, he said he took this fight short notice. He has no manager, no promoter, no nothing. He's from the DC area. He's like, I'll fight anybody, anywhere. First time in California. He normally fights at 22 or 26. So,
wow, so gosh, he's a big junior featherweight / featherweight because he looks pretty big in here as a lightweight.
Yeah, he's listed at 5'8". But he said 22, 26, has no problem making 22.
Yeah, he looks taller than that. Or maybe, maybe Sanchez isn't 5'7". Maybe Sanchez is more 5'6", 5'6.5", But I like what I see from Early. He looks very confident in there. Confident and competent.
Crime fighting cut man Mike Rodriguez checking in from Dallas. His son Mike Jr. will be working Ruben Torres. Next fight coming up. Mike in Dallas. Who you working, Mike? Is it Hooker or you got Ramirez? This one's scheduled for 6 rounds.
Early's he lives up to his nickname. He's slick. I don't know if he's too slick, but he's smooth in there. He's fluid.
Hey.
And I like I like the lateral movement. I like the head movement. I like that he keeps his man turning.
He from the DC area. So you mentioned DC. You have our friends at No Excuse Gym. Lamont Roach.
Lamont Roach is going to get his first title shot.
Yeah, against Jamal Herring. No location yet, but that's coming up. And Early is going to be one of Lamont's sparring partners.
Oh, that makes sense.
So as soon as he goes back home, Lamont's going to bring him in to spar, right?
That's good work.
Also, yes, indeed, Mike Reed in that area. So good boxing in the DC area.
Yeah, probably the most talented boxer I ever saw live. Mark Too Sharp Johnson was.
Too Sharp Johnson. He was a DC guy?
Yeah.
No way.
Sponsors of tonight's New Blood Thompson Boxing Promotion event. It's
going to be We're taking that picture. The reason is our barber RC's hasn't been returning text messages, so Danny and I have that shaggy hair because let's see, the guy who's gonna be on a broadcast and the world champion can't get in a cut.
Oh, come on.
I'm just saying, Danny Roman, world champion. Which belts do you own?
WBA and IBF.
WBA and IBF. I just like you saying that, Danny Roman. Is there some news that you gotta tell us?
Yes, I got the mandatory fight.
That's for sure.
Yes, and it is finalizing right now, so I should have a date anytime soon.
Who's your mandatory?
He can't say his name.
I
Joel
don't
Diaz
miss.
trains him. Everybody calls him Kaka. I'm not even gonna pretend to say his name.
Okay.
But Joel Diaz, he's like 8-0, right? A big amateur background.
Oh, I was gonna say only 8 bouts, and the guy's getting a title shot. He's fighting a unified champion.
He's the WBA.
Okay, well that explains a lot right there. That explains a lot right there. Now, Danny, you were at the Ray Vargas Tomoki Kameda fight.
Yes.
Real quickly, give us your thoughts on Vargas's performance there, and is that still a unification showdown that you look forward to?
Yes,
Hope gets made.
Yes, he dominated the fight
Yeah.
that night, and I believe he won. Kameda got hot hit and lost focus what he was supposed to do. So yeah, I mean, if everything goes good this coming fight, so yeah, I still want to unify against him. You know, I've been calling him out, he'll be calling me out, and
Right. They made a big deal to call your name out, and he mentioned you in the post-fight comments.
Well,
and
the
all
guy
that.
interviewing him made him say.
Oh,
Danny
that's
Roman.
true. I got to give Beto credit for that. I forgot. That was the DAZN show, and you did a great job, Beto.
What about when Danny was getting interviewed and he was like, well, Ray Vargas? Yo, Danny's so nice. Like, I don't care. Yo, we'll fight somebody. I'm like, come on, Danny, say it. Ray Vargas. We're like, whoa, Danny's actually calling somebody. Yeah. Danny, when you watch other 122-pounders, and especially here at the DoubleTree, it's like, does it break you back? Like, damn, not too long ago, I was here.
yes, it brings me flashbacks. You know, like you said, not that long ago, I was fighting here, and it's my home. Ontario's my home.
As the boy said, Danny Roman, you're going to be fighting your mandatory. Do you know when?
It's gonna be in September, but I don't have an exact date.
Okay, so in September in LA somewhere, Danny Roman will be fighting.
Excellent.
Yeah, you don't have to go to Japan. You don't have to go back east. You actually get to fight close to your house. Does people still bother you for tickets?
No, they don't.
They don't?
No.
Okay. Well, in that case, I need 4. If like nobody's bothering you, yeah. So it'll be your mandatory. And then after that, it'll be if this shot's landed by early. Then it's you want Ray Vargas. What about Navarrete?
Yes, you know, I mean, I want to fight with Ray Vargas because he's been calling me out, and I called him out before, so we're just waiting for that moment.
First shot landed by the DC fighter, James Early.
Yeah, this has been a good round. Both guys have had their moments.
The ace of SoCal. Roman getting better in interviews. Not as good as Sal Sanchez. But like, are you used to doing interviews now, Danny?
Yes, I'm getting used to it little by little.
No, you're not. Okay, if it's not us, do you get a little intimidated, a little scared? Say it, yeah. No, because look, like I'm scared of you, like anywhere. Like even right now, when you just hit me, that hurt. Like, but you get paid to hit people. You don't get paid to talk, right?
Yeah.
But you understand it now?
Yeah, I mean, the more I do it, the less
That's the key.
it's harder for me. So
Hey,
Embrace it. Just embrace it.
yeah. So you went to Lusinger High, right?
yes,
Did you know that? You know who Russell Westbrook is?
yes, I know who he is.
Okay.
I mean, I remember him in school.
You guys were at the same time, I think so,
Yeah.
right? He's a little bit older than you. And then there's
I think maybe like 2 years
yeah.
apart.
And then there's a soccer player, Zardy Gardis. Remember him?
Yeah.
He has like that neon hair like that. So like out of that school, you have all these guys that were there together.
It's real talent.
At the same time.
Yeah, doing things in the professionals. Yeah, nice.
Lusinger High.
Hey, who would have
Different
thought?
sports.
You know, we went to school. Everybody was on their thing. He was in soccer. The other one was in basketball. And I was doing boxing, and look at us now.
As Gail says, that $1 million smile, that's all you need. Danny Roman, WBA, IBF World Champion. He'll be fighting in September. Somewhere in LA. Don't ask for tickets because Danny already gave them to me. And if you get him a haircut at RC's, please hook him up. Danny, thank you. Gracias, brother.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, champ.
Good round for James Early. And if you're watching us for the first time, you're like, wait a minute, why are these guys talking about everything else instead of the fight? Look, you're watching the fight. You see
What's going on. And Early, you know, and as I mentioned in the opening round, I like what I see from Early. Early could be up 2 rounds. You could have given the first round to Early. I scored the second round for Early, even though Sanchez landed some hard shots. He had a nice uppercut in there that seemed to momentarily stun Early, but Early is the busier of the two. And he seems to be the guy who's controlling the distance more.
Monchu, you're complaining, but you're still watching the fight, bro. Like, I know you're at home.
What's he complaining about?
Oh, he said because they're going and we're talking with Danny.
Oh.
It's like, well, you know what? You can do your own play-by-play at home, bro.
Oh, I see a cut.
Yep, there's a
blood
cut.
trickling down the right side of the face of Sanchez.
Early said he just goes to the gym. He just quit his job. He was working pest control. So
Test control?
pest control.
Pest control. Okay.
Yeah. He was working pest
Boxing
control.
might be safer than pest control, you know, with those insecticides
Yeah.
you deal with.
But also in the DC area, the heat, the humidity, all that other stuff.
Yuck.
So he said he quit his job a few weeks ago because he's now committing to boxing because if guys would call him for spar,
Right.
he couldn't. You know, and if you're decent, you get paid for some sparring.
You know what? It's the rare individual who can really learn and get better from a lot of sparring, but maybe Early is one of those rare individuals. You can hear the corner of
Yep.
Early saying jab, and that's really good advice. It's not enough just to move around in there. It looks like Early might be getting a little bit tired. He's not as active as he was in the first 2 rounds. Nice right hand, and then he switches to the southpaw stance and pops a few jabs.
Yep.
He's a bit of a conundrum right now for Sanchez. Sanchez, you know, all you have to do is look at his record, 9 knockouts and 9 victories. He probably prefers his opponent to come right at him or stand in front of him.
Final seconds of the 3rd round. This was scheduled for 6. The co-feature, Anthony Sanchez, James Early. Our main event coming up, Ruben Ace Torres, working with his trainer, Danny Zamora. The first time that Torres will be a main event in his young career. As they're working on that right eye cut. That's Eddie, right?
Yes, and there's swelling on the left eye, above the left eye of Sanchez. So the cut man has his work cut out for him. No pun intended.
Eddie works with Danny Roman.
And also that sensational welterweight prospect we saw in the main event of the last Thompson Boxing Show.
Joshua Taylor says Early definitely looks like he's gassing as we head to the 4th round. Look, he took this fight a couple days ago. First time fighting in California, so he had to lose a couple pounds, goes to California, and then, as Javier Raza, if he still watches, will tell us, the matchmaker, you got to get your medicals done, you got to get your physical done, you got to pass. Just because you have your stuff done in DC doesn't mean it's going to qualify in California. So he showed up yesterday, and yesterday it was go around to medicals and doctors, then get to the weigh-in, and then they're like, hey, you need another mouthpiece.
Oh my goodness.
And the drivers will tell you, like our good friend, the philosopher Aristeo, sometimes you're spending and you're driving these opponent fighters all over the place, because in California, you need to have 2 mouthpieces. Other states, you just need 1. So Early had to go buy another mouthpiece for this.
Oh, wow.
Weddle, Anthony Sanchez, 9-0. Perfect 9 KOs. Does have 1 draw. That's Early.
Sanchez has got to get his hands moving though. He's definitely the heavier puncher of the 2. But that power's not going to do any good if it can't find its mark. This is where Sanchez wants Early. He needs to really get working. He should work the body as well as the head. At least Sanchez is in range now. I think he had a lot of trouble with the lateral movement in the first 3 rounds.
Good right hook landed by Early with a minute to go in the round. As Early in the pink trying to work the body.
Early has some craft on the inside. I'm impressed.
He said he's better than his record indicates, Early at 3-3.
I think he's right.
But then again, everybody tells us that they're better than the record indicates.
Now he's proving it.
Yeah.
He's not telling us, he's showing us, and he's showing Sanchez.
Jerry Cantu calls time.
Somebody
Mouthpiece
lost
was
a
flying,
mouthpiece.
and it was Early's. They're gonna rinse it out. Early has braces on the top teeth. He showed up just with his trainer. That's it. He picked up a cut man and was chief second.
That's a common story for journeyman.
Yep. What does Art do? We gotta figure that out. What does Ace do? Does Ace work? Oh, good friend Lynn Brewer checking in. Hello, Lynn. We saw Richard earlier with a cast on that hand. He had a ligament damage in his last fight. Great kid. Marco Morales checking in. Our main event coming up next. Ruben Torres, Ruben Tamayo, youngster against a veteran. You see him trying to work out that cut on the right eye of Anthony Sanchez from Long Beach.
They got to work on the cut on the right eye, the swelling over the left eye. You would think maybe an in-swell would be the right tool for the swelling over the left eye.
Fifth round, Beth Duran, Doug Fisher, and you checking in. We appreciate it for joining us on the Thompson Boxing Show. Do it once a month. Neither of these fighters signed to Thompson, but they're putting in a good scrap. Cameraman doing work. Steph Curry Beast doing work.
Sneaky right hand from early. And whenever he lands that right hand, then he switches to southpaw and then gets out of range. And that's a smart move.
What up, Raul Suarez, South Central checking in. Why don't you share, let people know. Your homie Ruben Torres coming up next.
See, I think Sanchez is waiting too much. He'll stand right in front of Early and just wait. He'll pose. And Early's the guy working the jab. So Early's the guy who's going to score, and the jab is helping him find range for his right, or if he's in a southpaw stance, a straight left.
And let's try to keep the language kind of clean. You know, there are some kids reading.
There's a jab to the stomach from Sanchez. I want to see more of that.
It looks like our Facebook viewers have it early up. Sal has early up. Cornell has early.
I agree with that. I scored the last round for Sanchez, though. He's pot-shotting with that right hand. But you see, whenever Early lands a big clean shot, then he moves out of the way. Boy, Sanchez really bothered by movement.
Yep.
It's like he can't let those hands go unless his man is standing right in front of him and posing for a while, and Early's not really doing that. Early has a lot in the way of ring generalship. He knows how to hold, knows how to spin and turn a guy. He can box from different stances, understands controlling pace and distance, works the jab from both stances. Here's the right hand again. This is a round that Early is definitely winning. Sanchez wants to steal this round. He's got to get going right now.
Early's power hand is his right. He's naturally right-handed, but he fights southpaw, he said, because when he was fighting in the streets, that's how he just naturally stood. So when he went to the gym to learn, that's how he naturally stood. They just left him as a southpaw. So his power shot,
he does
is
well.
that right hand.
I can tell he's a natural right-hander because when he switches to southpaw, really all he does is work the jab. He doesn't do any power shots. There was kind of a half-hearted right hook. He should actually work on that. If he's going to switch all the time, he should work on delivering power shots from the left-handed stance. And if you've got a good right hand, you can learn how to throw a good right hook from the southpaw stance. Yeah, he wasn't happy about that. But I think he won that round. I think he's winning this fight.
Yeah. Hey, Terrell and the other guy, please watch the language. There are kids reading this, so we're all having a good time here. But let's just, like, I know boxing people get all crazy, but like,
You cretins.
coming up next, the main event, Torres and Tamayo.
Now you see the trainer got out of the way to allow the cut man to be right in front of the fighter. I think that way he can apply more pressure. They're doing a good job controlling that cut. It hasn't been bleeding and it hasn't gotten any worse, but the swelling might be bothering Sanchez.
Terrell, appreciate it, man. Like I said, it's a family environment, so they love it, but the kids are watching. I know because one of them is mine. Sixth and final round. And for those of you guys wondering, Early in the pink got the call 3 days ago. So if you guys are saying his conditioning, yeah, he was going to the gym, but it's just like you guys, you go to the 24-hour fitness center and like, let me go lift some weights and then maybe I'm gonna go play basketball. Like, he didn't have a camp. So this dude got the call and said, fly across country, lose a couple more pounds, and do everything. Give a lot of credit to him.
He must be a gym rat, though. I mean, I'm not even looking at the win-loss ratio. I'm not looking at the fact that he's a 500 fighter, 3-3.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the fact that he only has 6 pro fights.
Yep.
And he's moving about the ring like he's got 15, 16 pro fights.
20 amateur fights early. Has never had a camp. He said his three losses all were taken on short notice.
He's got to be a gym rat. He's got to be in the gym all the time, sparring all the time, and picking up things from fighters who did have extensive amateur backgrounds and are like legitimate professional prospects. And if he's worked with Lamont Roach in the past, that's good work, obviously.
Yep. So he said they know him in the DC area. Yeah, that Roach Jamel Herring fight will be a good one. Sixth and final round. Donovan Ponce, are we hiring commentators? Nah, man, you're probably more qualified than us.
Early seems in complete control in here. And whenever Sanchez is in close like this, he really needs to let his hands go to the body, to the head, needs to beat the arms, beat the shoulders. Yeah, work those uppercuts.
Swelling over the left eye of El Güero Sanchez.
Yes, and that's from all those right hands that Early has landed. That's the proof that he's been bombing on Sanchez with that right.
Early is gash. You can tell, mouth wide open.
Yeah, he's tired.
Riding on fumes. A lot of heart, though. Arturo Quesada, don't go anywhere. We got the main event coming up next, bro. Hace una paloma y ya.
And you know what? Early covers up really well to the body. There's a nice right hand from Sanchez. Sanchez has really got to work hard. He's got half a minute to steal this round. There might have been a close round that I scored for Early that could have gone to Sanchez. I think the second round was like that. Maybe if he wins this round, if he gets a knockdown, maybe he can salvage a draw. But I got Early winning this 6-rounder.
Six good rounds. Fun fight. A good club fight between Anthony Sanchez and James Early.
It was competitive. I think there was a clear winner, but it was an interesting mesh of styles.
Yeah.
And I think the corner of Early should be proud of the young man.
Well, his corner doesn't know him. He just met him.
I know. They should still be happy for him. He went out there. He didn't fight like a 3-3 journeyman who took a fight on 3 days' notice. He went out there and fought like a real competent prize fighter. Nice body work here from both guys.
Yeah. So let's see here. On Facebook, how do you guys have it? Who? Just say the name. Early. You guys got early. More early. 4-1 early. Early. Okay. Look.
It's all early.
Yeah, it's all early.
4-1. Hey, they were 6 rounds, bro.
Early.
I can't see it any less than 4-2 for early.
Troy Williams.
Could be
Sacramento.
5-1.
What happened in Troy and Sacramento?
Maybe the guy who has it 4-1 for early had 1 round to draw.
So 4-2. There we go.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, after going all 6 rounds, the official scorecard reads as follows. Dr. Lou Moret and Sergio Cais turn in identical scores of 59-55. And Judge DeLuca scores it 58-56. All in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. From Washington, D.C., Too Slick, James Early.
Too Slick, James Early gets his 4th victory, handing Anthony Sanchez his first defeat. He swept the cards. And but a couple people leave in the comments, here comes the robbery, here comes the robbery.
Yeah, no, California judges got it right. They know boxing, and that's what Early did. Yeah, I think Early gave Sanchez a boxing lesson.
From IRS Demolition, Carlos Cepeda.
And that'll be here, back here, Bethel Duran, Doug Fisher, ringside. Our main event is coming up. Thanks everybody interacting with us. One more fight to go. And you know what? Look, people leaving all kinds of comments. We appreciate it. What do you want to talk about, Doug? What's on your mind? Comic-Con?
No, it's past. It's past.
Okay.
Yeah. Gosh, you know, I
got it. Congrats.
I am curious what the heck's going on in the heavyweight division.
Okay.
I do want to know who Tyson Fury winds up fighting, maybe in September, maybe on September 14th. I'm curious as to who Triple G winds up fighting, maybe also on September 14th, and where those fights land. But also, just what's the deal with the rematch between Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz Jr.?
I got an Andy Ruiz update. Edgar Yasso.
Yeah.
But, Andy, still not at the gym. Next week, he'll be
Still
at the
not
gym.
at the gym.
Go ahead. You earned it.
Yes, you did.
I told y'all what I was going to do. I was going to trick him, make him run the crazy stuff. I'm ready for whoever. Put whoever in there.
You lived up to your nickname. Way to go. You love that. You like to see that. You know, the underdog get his due. He earned it. Seems like a nice young man.
Yeah, real nice young man. I got a lot of people are saying he was real respectful because when they make you come to California and then they send you to the doctor, then they send you to the medicals, a lot of guys don't want to do it.
No.
He was like, cool. Actually, when he was getting his hand wrapped, the doctor came back and talked to him. He's like, do you plan on fighting in California again? I guess it was something going on with his medical or something. Paperwork.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm coming back here.
Good. He's welcome.
Yeah, puts on a
He's
good
welcome.
show.
Yeah, he does.
So Andy Ruiz goes back to the gym Monday.
Oh, okay.
So he's in there. They don't know against who or anything like that, but they want him back in the gym training.
He needs to get dialed in, not get caught up in all the social media. He doesn't need to be getting into social media battles with Eddie Hearn, because that's a tough guy to beat on social media for one thing. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, for those of you guys interacting with Andy Ruiz on social media, he doesn't use the account.
Who is that?
It's like Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, somebody.
He has a team doing it for him. Yeah, so that's somebody's job. So
Well, I kind of like to hear that, because that means he's keeping his head screwed on straight, because social media can make you crazy. But definitely, it's made me a little bit batty. Yeah, that's on me though. I don't know how much time I waste on Twitter. God, it's got to be like a 12-step group for that.
We're doing it now. We're going to Lupe. So go to Lupe Contreras right now. All right, Lupe's in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we may have your attention, please, at this time, we'd like to take a moment to mark the passing of 3 members of the boxing community, the first of whom is the father of a longtime Southern California writer, a tremendous boxing fan. You would often see him ringside here at Thompson Boxing Promotion events. Sadly, he passed away recently, Mr. Francisco Salazar Sr. The other 2 are 2 young fighters who tragically succumbed to their injuries following their final grueling bouts, the first of which was a Southern American and Latin super featherweight champion with the WBO, This past weekend, he succumbed to injuries after his final bout at the age of 23, Hugo Santillan, the second of whom was a fighter hailing from St. Petersburg, Russia, who trained here in Southern California in Oxnard at one of the most prestigious boxing gyms, the Boxing Laboratory, which has produced many world champions. He was well on his way to securing a world championship belt of his own. As a matter of fact, he captured the NABF super lightweight title in only his 11th bout. Tragically, he passed away also following his last bout at the age of 28. In memory of Maxim Dadashev, Hugo Santillan, and Francisco Salazar Sr., please join me in a moment of silence as we honor their memory with boxing's traditional 10 counts. May they rest in peace. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm very happy to be returning to a main event, and I want to thank Thompson Boxing Promotions for giving me that opportunity. I know of the ability of my opponent. I know he's very young, he's fast, he's very strong, but I've trained extremely hard, not just to come and be an opponent here, but also to give everybody a great fight and make sure that everybody is surprised by the result. I have a really good training camp. Knowing of what happened in my last fight, I've made some adjustments that were necessary. I've had really great sparring with very good fighters that also are in the Thompson Boxing roster, and they have given me tremendous workouts in the last couple of months. So I have been preparing for this fight for a good while, and I'm ready for the challenge. I really have to make the proper adjustments for this fight. I don't want to go in there toe-to-toe with him. I know he's got good power and great range, but in reality I have to box him a little bit. If I see that the fight's getting a little close, and if I see that he is crowding me a little bit, then I'm going to have to find a way to find my way out. But the most important thing about it is that my physical condition is much better than the last fight. I have made those adjustments, and I'm ready for a guy like this. I'd like to give a message to everybody that always has supported me, my friends and family back home. Just want to remind you all that I never leave anything behind in the ring. I put it all out there, and this is exactly what is going to happen. A win, lose, or draw, I always do the same. And I want to thank all those people that have supported me always. And those that have not trusted my ability in the past, I also thank them because they made me who I am. I trust in God and the Virgin Mary that is going to see me through this, and I'm going to do everything in my power to take the win home.
I'm blessed. I want to thank Thompson Boxing Promotions for making me the main event, and we've been waiting for this moment for a while now, so now that it's finally here, it's time to show up. Just having faith in my training and my skills, and knowing that I put in the work to dominate out there. It doesn't matter the experience. Of course, I got to keep my head on a swivel, but how else am I going to gain that experience myself is by beating guys like this. Just knowing that we're going to fight a seasoned veteran, we made sure we got in some southpaws first of all, because he is a southpaw, and we also got in different looks, different styles of top prospects, and knowing that it's going to be my first 8-rounder, just training, sparring more rounds, training more rounds to know that we have that extra gear if we need to tap into it. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Stay tuned for a great fight. Shout out to all my sponsors, shout out to all my family and friends that came out and are watching online. Thank you, Thompson Boxing.
Entering the ring, Ruben Tamayo.
From Ciudad Obregón, Mexico, Canelito with a K, Ruben Tamayo, veteran of Southern California. He's fought a who's who in the division. Venimos del desierto, come from the desert, nunca jamás is the band that he's come into. Yeah, I Shazammed it.
Across the ring, Ruben Torres.
Oh, jam right here. A song that's definitely older than Ruben Torres.
Yes, it is, but I like his selection here.
Yeah! The main event for the first time in his young career from South Central Los Angeles. Ain't no future.
And you're fronting.
MC Breed.
Yeah.
DFC. Yeah. 9-0, 7 KOs, Ruben Ace Torres. And for those of you guys who are related to him, why don't you guys share? Let people know, hey, Ace is in there. Ace, you share it too.
We continue with the action here at the Doubletree, Ontario. It is New Blood. Proudly presented to you by Thompson Boxing Promotions. Our officials at ringside are Dr. Lou Moret, Max DeLuca, and Sergio Cais. When the bell rings, the ref in charge of the ring is Ray Corona. And now, ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be entertained. This is the main event of the evening. 8 rounds in the junior welterweight division. Y veremos quién es el más macho. Introducing first, the fighter standing in the red corner. Wearing black with silver and gold trim, he weighed in at 138 pounds. In 44 professional bouts, he maintains a record of 27 victories against 13 losses, 4 draws, 18 of those victories by way of KO. From Ciudad Obregón, Sonora, Mexico, Rubén Canelito Tamayo. Across the ring in the blue corner, wearing blue with red and white trim, he weighed in at an official 138 1/4 pounds. He enters the ring for the 10th time as a pro with an undefeated record of 9 victories. 7 of those victories coming by way of KO. Born, bred, and repping South Central LA, Ruben Ace Torres.
Aquí está bien. Right here is good. Touch gloves. God bless.
Birthday boy Ray Corona, the third man in the ring. Let's look at the tail of the tape for this one, our main event, Doug Fisher.
Yeah, let's see how they match up. The glaring statistic there is age. 9 years younger Torres is at age 21. At 6 feet tall, he's the taller man. But Tamayo has very, very slight reach.
Thanks for everybody joining us all over the world on Facebook. Why don't you guys let me know where you're watching from? Check in. Give me the city. Saludos también a Marco Villegas, de Ciudad Obregón, toda la gente que nos está mirando en México. Oh, so the delay right now is because they're waiting for the doctor. The doctor's actually in the back right now with the fighters from the previous fight, Sanchez and Early, and you cannot start a fight without the doctor. So
that's a good rule.
I mean, it's good.
It's
it helps.
okay.
The commission's on the phone, telling the doctor, let's go. Carlos Hector, Lubbock, Texas. That's what Bob told Richie.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Lubbock, Texas.
pause in the action. We're waiting for our medical staff to return
Tonio
to ringside.
Diaz is
There will
in.
be a slight pause in the action while our medical staff returns to ringside.
Tonio
Thank you.
Diaz and Joe Diaz are the in and out in Yucaipa. Their fighter, Tito Sanchez, won, and then they took off right away. Dylan Glover, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's where Rolling Rock is from. Lim Brewer, Cucamonga. Anthony Ortega, Dallas. Blake says, no way you're in Thailand. Tony Espinoza, Bakersfield. Colonia Libertad, Viva la Libertijuas. Stewart says he's in Johannesburg, South Africa. Harrisburg, PA, that's the capital, right? Montebello, home of QCs. What up, Jose Luis Gonzalez? The doctor's walking in. Alex Ayala, Florida. Norwalk. That's where Ace Torres trains out of, Legends Gym. Torres, a taller fighter.
Tamayo was very tall for a featherweight, and that's where his toughest opposition came, and that was the weight where he was at his best. But he's pretty tall for a lightweight, and he's one of the taller opponents that Torres has faced.
Yeah, if Hugo Cortez sells. And he gets dropped quickly. As Tamayo is checking his nose like, man. He's been up against some young studs. He's faced some power. He got caught here early.
Torres can pop.
Yes, he can.
He is a boxer puncher. He puts the boxing before the punching, which means he always keeps his technique, but there's always maximum leverage behind his shots. He's got a real good jab, and he hooks off it very well.
Well, in his last fight, Torres with the distance, and there was some criticism that he stayed in third gear. Not the case right now.
He's definitely dialed in for this fight. You know, he's well trained, had good sparring, and good training, good conditioning all around. And the first time I saw him was in February. Oh, second knockdown.
Put his combination together, did ace halfway through the first round. San Central born Ruben Torres coming out quickly in our main event tonight. And Tamayo, don't start. He usually gives you resistance.
Absolutely, that's what he's known for.
Yeah, he goes the distance with guys.
Went the distance with Oscar Valdez. Maybe 2 fights removed from Valdez's title-winning effort.
Yeah. Jojo Diaz. He was dropped by Michael Dutchover in the third round a couple fights ago. Dutchover and Torres train together, work out together at Titan Edge Athletics. Same manager, trainer, Danny Zamora.
Well, it looks like Torres is trying to one-up Dutchover.
Yep.
And I tell you what, Tamayo better watch that left hook. It is fast and accurate and compact from Torres.
And he's in the corner.
Yeah, and that's not a place you want to be against Torres. You want to keep your back off the ropes, and you want to stay out of corners. Because his whole game is to stalk you into those positions and then bomb on you.
Staying under control, though, is Torres. Usually guys like that will come in and punch themselves out in the first round.
Now, this is what I like about Torres. He's very focused. He's a smart guy. And he's a boxer puncher. He puts the boxing before the punching, but the power is there.
Tamayo survives the first round. All right, let's go back to you guys. I saw Suffolk, England. Kevin Lewis was happening. Donnie Cray in Dubuque, Iowa. Ozzy Alana, South Whittier. Zamora, Michoacan. Salvador Torres. Carrillos are back. Rogelio Moreno. Nick Villaseñor in Jalisco. Look at the replay of the knockdowns in the first.
Yeah, opening round was a 10-7 round for Ruben Torres. Scored 2 knockdowns. Let's see the first knockdown here. All right, I think that was the second knockdown.
Y saludos a todos en la Casa de Winston in Southgate. Glad they let you out. Tamayo's corner told him, come out and smother him. Ruben Ace Torres went to Santa Fe Springs High School. He played football there. Took a break from boxing as a football player. He was boxing as a kid when he was doing both. He's like, look, let me take a break. I think by taking that break, he stayed fresh. Went to San Francisco State for a year. Said, you know what? I got that desire to turn pro. Came back, and that time away, he's locked in as Steve Kim checking in.
This is one of the guys that Steve Kim told me to keep my eye on. In February, my first show here, Ruben was on that show. He was still trying to make lightweight at the time, but I think he has matured into a full-body junior welterweight prospect. But Kim said this is one of those Thompson boxing prospects that's going to develop into somebody. And he dropped him! Wow!
That left got him. Tamayo has a big heart. He'll get up, but he's complaining that he got hit with a headbutt.
Tamayo looking overwhelmed to me. He just can't get going in this fight. Every mistake he makes, Torres makes him pay for it.
He's complaining of a headbutt. But he said, not from that one.
Hey, I think Steve Kim was right, though. Yep. He said this guy's going to be like a Josecito Lopez or a Timothy Bradley.
He looks a lot sharper now. They've added Edgar Yasu into that corner.
Yeah, he is. Technically speaking, he's sharper. And physically speaking, he looks more filled out in his frame. He looks more athletic. And we're seeing the benefits of all the hard work he's put in.
He's started incorporating, Doug, like this beach workouts for conditioning. You know, those sand workouts, the old school.
Is he doing like sprints in the sand?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? That could have been if the referee,
Connected.
if Ray Corona was in proper position, that could have been a technical knockdown.
Because of the rope, right?
Yeah, because he was Tamayo was sitting on the ropes after a punch.
Tamayo comes in gingerly, tiptoes in there.
He's leery now because of the great counter punching.
Oh, it is over! Wow!
Oh my goodness! Talk about counter punching. Tamayo couldn't throw a punch without getting clipped, and he just got iced.
And they're keeping him on his back. I've seen Ruben Tamayo a lot. He is tough. He is durable. I've never seen him overwhelmed like that. Impressive performance by Ruben Torres. Wow.
4 knockdowns in 2 rounds.
A lot of Torres' family watching. South Central, Christy in Phoenix. An impressive outing, a round and a half for Ruben Torres.
And look how quiet Torres is, how poised and respectful he is of his fallen opponent right now. I'm telling you what, this guy has a lot of class. He's got a great personality. We might get to talk to him.
He's almost 6 foot.
After this fight, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk to him. Steve Kim right here. Torres a lot like Chico Corrales.
Yes.
Long, lean, stick of a dynamite.
That's high praise.
And
I was comparing him to Josecito. Steve's comparing him to the late great Chico, who might be a Hall of Famer. But yeah, he has that power on the inside.
Yeah, and for those of you who've never heard him talk, stick around. You're going to be impressed by Ruben Torres once he sits down with him as the doctor is in the ring. They're checking on Tamayo. Tamayo's a classy man, like, respect to him. And we mentioned it, the last time Torres was in there, he fought George Acosta. A friend of his, as a professional, carried him. Like, the fight was...
It's like a sparring session.
Criticized for it by everybody, his corner, management, everybody. Came out tonight, you don't leave a veteran like Tamayo with you, and he came out and took care of it. Lupe Contreras inside the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout comes to a dramatic conclusion with an official time of 2 minutes, 38 seconds of round number 2. Your winner, by way of KO, still undefeated, Ruben Torres.
Ruben Torres, winner by knockout. Dylan Glover, great comment. He does have some skills, but a long way before he could be compared to Chico Corrales. Nobody says he's on that level.
Yeah, Steve's saying he reminds him of Corrales because he's 6 feet tall and he's got power with short, compact shots. Yep. And both hands. He can crack with both hands, as we'll see with these highlights. But I think, unlike Corrales, Torres is comfortable boxing from a distance. Corrales always wanted to get in close. That was a short left hook that put Tamayo down.
In our main event, Ace Torres ends it quickly.
Right to the body, and there's another hook that puts him down. I think these were the knockdowns from the first round.
Is this the one, reverse angle?
Yeah, right hand, wow. So we're seeing power from the left, power from the right, and we're also seeing power from like 6-inch punches, little short shots.
Oh, wow.
That was beautiful.
Oh,
that
was
hook
the one,
was beautiful.
That was the one that dropped him earlier, and that was the third knockdown. That's the one
was
that
the
ended
last one. Yeah, where Tamayo falls on his side. You know he's not getting up from that.
Great job by the crew
Scary.
to get that shot in the replay to not get that.
And look how short that hook was. Yep. All he did was raise his elbow, and he had full power behind it. That's what Kim is talking about. Power from short, compact shots.
Back here ringside, as that's his strength and conditioning coach, Jerry Arias.
He's doing a great job, man. Good job. Yeah, Mr. Arias. But that hook, it wasn't like one of these hooks. It wasn't like Tito Trinidad, right? It wasn't just loading up. It was just the elbow. Just lifted the elbow, and he had full power, full leverage on that compact hook.
And for those of you guys saying you're all of a sudden related to Ruben Torres, like Sal Carrillo, hold on, he's making his way down here. Commission's checking him out. We're talking to him right briefly.
Very likable young man.
Yep.
I really enjoy talking to him at these fights. I like it when I see him at the gyms. He's got great observations on everybody, not just himself and his own career.
I like Steve Kim's comment. Punchers are born, not made. Ruben is a legitimate puncher.
Yes.
He's still green. Like, nobody's crowning him.
Here's what I like. He has a boxer's mentality because he sets that power up, doesn't go crazy the moment he has a guy in trouble.
And yes, a Thompson boxing show ended before 11 o'clock. You get rid of Steve Kim, we fly by, man.
Yeah.
We fly by. Hey, there's Chris Ariola's trainer, Henry Ramirez.
What's up, Henry? Riverside's finest right there.
Thanks for not bringing me a drink tonight. No. Yeah. Sure.
Way to go.
Get up, Rube.
Way to go, Ruben.
Hey, look at you. All of us. See,
Yeah.
Rule number one, Ruben Torres, when you're handed the headset, don't go start taking pictures over here. You see this? You see this? I'm giving you the headset, and then
That's
you're
his
going
adoring-
to take pictures over
that's-
here. Man,
Danny.
you know, I
Great
should
job.
I should take away the headset.
Nah, you can't do that. Come on.
Yeah, let me interview your manager and everybody else because you'd rather go
damn.
take. What about us? What about us, Ruben?
I'm right here, brother.
Okay.
You got my full attention.
All right, everybody's watching you right now. Congratulations
Thank you.
to you. And I said it on the broadcast. Your last fight, we were there. We were like, we want to see more. Forget the second, third gear that you have.
Yes, sir.
Why did you come out so aggressive tonight?
I just know that I couldn't give him the confidence. My coach kept telling me, you know, this guy, he's a veteran. He's gonna try to do little tricks, and if you let him cap on you, then he's gonna take advantage of it. And we didn't want to let him get that.
You know what I like? You scored 4 knockdowns in 2 rounds.
Yes, sir.
At not one moment of that fight were you in a rush.
No, sir.
You weren't out trying to force a knockout. Every time he made a mistake, you were right there in position to put him on his ass.
Yes,
And
sir.
there you see the highlights, Ruben. What do you see right now?
Just stalking, being smart, hands up, eyes wide open.
That was the last knockdown, obviously.
He was trying to come over top, and we knew he was going to try to do that. He was just trying to throw the volados, you know. And that's what we were just focusing on. We were expecting that, and he fought just how we expected.
It was like you could read his mind. Seriously, like he's thinking, I think I'm going to come over here and bam, you've already heard him.
Yeah, that's credits to my coach. You know, he kept telling me like that's the only weapon that these guys are gonna have against you is they're over the top punches because I'm tall, because of my length. So we're doing our best to try to stay focused and be alert in there.
All right, for people who watch you for the first time, I told them to stick around because you're a nice kid, you have good personality, and I know your manager's probably telling you thank my sponsors, all that other stuff. But before we do all that, you took a break from boxing as a high school kid to play football. You went to college for a year. How much did that break help you just mentally?
First and foremost, I want to say que Amá, te quiero mucho y quiero que sepas que estoy peleando contigo y por ti. We just found out she got diagnosed with cancer, bro.
Your mom?
So yeah, my grandma.
Oh, your grandma.
My grandma. Yeah. So right now she's been in and out of the hospital. She went for she had gallstones, and they ended up doing some more tests. She was in there for a week, and she's stage 4 cancer. So we're doing our best, and this fight is dedicated to her.
I was comparing you at the start of the show to Josecito Lopez because you're Thompson boxing, you're tall,
That's
and
a
you're
compliment.
athletic. Of course it is. I was complimenting you. Steve Kim was weighing in via Facebook, compared you to Diego Chico Corrales because of your height but your punching power,
Right.
especially in close. How would you? I'm not asking you to compare yourself to somebody like any veteran or whatever, but how would you describe your style?
I think my style is progressing. As of right now, I'm known as a puncher. You know, I don't like to depend on my strength, but obviously it's there. But right now we're just trying to develop our skills. I'm I'm a boxer. I would like to be known as a boxer, be smart in there, and come out of the. When I retire, I want to still have my brain on my head. I want to still be alert and be there as a person. And
You're a smart
that's
guy.
my goal. Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead. How hard is statistics class in the summer?
Oh man, I mean it's going pretty well right
No,
now,
it's
but
not.
I had to because of this
He's taking
fight.
a statistics class at Cerritos
At
College.
Cerritos, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, by the way, being
thank you.
a student athlete, a student
Trying to,
professional
man.
athlete.
Yeah, that's credit to my coach too. He told me from the jump, out the gate, he was like, "I'm not gonna coach you. You don't go to school. You better go to school." So that's mainly why I went back to school, so I could box.
So
I
everybody
see it
on
in the maturity in your character, though.
Look, everybody on the Facebook page is now all of a sudden claiming to be your relative. So if they're related to you, how come they didn't come to the fight?
Hey, people live far. I mean, they might have their excuses, but they're watching, so that's all I can ask for.
See, he's not even going to throw the family under the bus. That's how much of a nice kid he is.
Thank you guys
There's
for
the
watching,
cameras.
man.
Send all your shout-outs. Now you can do it.
Shout out to all my sponsors. Shout out to all my family. Thank you, Ernie from Everlast. Thank you for taking care of us. Shout out to these guys right here for staying here for my fight and waiting for us, But it was a great night, and I'm just glad that I could be part of it. Thank you to God. Thank you to my team.
Your social media is?
Hunted Torres. I'm available on Instagram and Facebook at Ruben Torres on Facebook and Hunted Torres on Instagram.
And Ruben Torres, great kid. Now Commission's waiting for you. They're going to go take care of you. Hey,
Thank
shout
you,
out to all
guys.
the people back there jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey, Dougie.
way to ruin the shot.
Great to see you, man.
Have a great night,
Great to
okay?
see you,
All right,
Danny.
Beto.
There you guys go,
See you
man.
later, man.
Congratulations. Hey, well, everybody wants an A shirt all of a sudden. Everybody wants an A shirt. So good night of boxing, 5 fights. The upset coming from James Early as he gave Anthony Sanchez his first defeat. Victories for Chris Crowley, Tito Sanchez, Leo Ruiz, and Ruben Torres. A good night of action here at the DoubleTree in Ontario. Fun card, huh, Doug?
Absolutely. Thompson Boxing, they have the chemistry. They know the right mix of matches and the right number of bouts and everything, and you're always entertained when you're here. And like I said at the start of the show, you're going to get good club fights, and then you're going to get a glimpse of the future. And Ruben, right there, Ace Torres, is a glimpse of the future right there. That guy is a real prospect.
So for everybody involved, Mr. Ken Thompson, Alan Campanoble, California, Paul Rivera, everybody involved, the camera guys, camera kids, hopefully they get paid this time. Guys taking down the ring, and my partner Doug Fisher, I'm Beto Duran. Gotta go sell some cars tomorrow. Gotta go work those 22 with this suit. Good night of action from Ontario. Thanks for watching Thompson Boxing Promotions.